What is up, guys? We're out here at the Great Salt Lake today and we're gonna be testing Spyderco H1 knives. These things are not supposed to rust. The Great Salt Lake is about 13% salinity, whereas the ocean is about 3.5%. So it's one of the very saltiest bodies of water in the world. The H1 steel in the Salt series of knives, they've taken out most of the carbon and replaced it with nitrogen. It's gonna prohibit them from rusting. Plan is to take these Spyderco knives. We've got the Pacific Salt as well as the Enough here on my belt. We're going to bury them here in the sand in the Great Salt Lake. Let's get to it. Jamie's gonna mark these on his GPS so when we come back in a week, they'll still be here. Hopefully. When you leave something in the wilderness, you just never know. So we've left the knives in the lake. The next part of the experiment, we're gonna bring some water back to Blade HQ. We wanna do a little time lapse with a couple different steels to see how the salt water reacts to all those different steels. Now I asked Jamie to bring us some containers to bring the water back, and this is what he got us. Jamie, what are we gonna do with this, man? All right, guys, we're back here at Blade HQ. We've set up some jars, and what we're gonna do is fill them with salt water from the Great Salt Lake. We're gonna put an H1 knife in there, the Spydie Chef and LC200N, similar to H1, the VG10 Delica in there, as well as this high carbon Okari. It's a 1095 steel, and we're gonna let the water evaporate, see what happens to these different blade steels. There it is, guys. We've got all the knives in there, and now it's just a waiting game. So we'll check back in on this in a little bit. Oh, I've been kneeling down way too long. All right, guys, we are back at the Great Salt Lake. It's a week later, and we're gonna go see if they're still out here. We're a little worried we're not gonna find them. We did put the GPS coordinates in, but the lake has moved probably like 20 or 30 feet. I don't know. Let's see what we get. And look what I found, guys. I found a DJI Mavic Pro out here at the Great Salt Lake. It's clearly been in there for a minute. Look at this. Right there in the camera, all that salt on there. If that is truly the SD card, that thing is not coming out of here right now. Hopefully we can find the owner, and we're gonna use the footage either way, assuming there's footage on it. But good example of like how corrosive it is out here. It's done. Fun find. All right, this is gonna be fun, guys. I have no idea where these are. Here we go, let's do it. There they are. Haha, this is great. Okay, so the whole sandbar kind of moved on top of them. Moment of truth. You ready for this? Okay, so initial impression, it looks like there's been a little bit of like sand damage to it, because yes, it has been buried in the sand. No rust at all. Looks like some of the grease, maybe from the pivot. Yeah, that kind of moved about. Totally, oh. Nope, I thought I saw a rust spot. Just a piece of grit. None of the hardware rusted, nothing there. This is a perfectly intact knife. Take the thing apart and perfect working order. Obviously it's gonna be crunchy because it's been in the sand for a week, but that is in great shape. I'm curious about this fixed blade. Particularly, I'm really curious about the hardware on the fixed blade. I'm so stoked we found these and that they didn't disappear. All right, let's see what we got here. And moment of truth. Definitely full of sand. There it is. Zero rust, 1 week in the Great Salt Lake. Pretty darn cool. Nicely done, Spyderco, because none of the hardware on that sheath is showing any sort of rust at all. The one thing I have noticed about H1 steel is it has a tendency to scratch. And this is just coming in and out of the sheath. That's one thing I've also noticed on my own little Dragonfly, is it definitely scratches, and that's just part of the gig with H1. If you're into making sure that your steel is always aesthetically pleasing, H1 might not be for you, because that thing is gonna scratch coming just in and out of that sheath. The only thing that we've noticed on these knives, it's like some sort of corrosion here around where they laser mark, as well as where they stamped. Our theory is that that is coming from the tooling. Maybe there's little bits of the tooling that they use to put it on there that's rusting, but you can just rub it off and it comes right off of there. There you have it, guys. I'm super impressed with this. Spyderco's done a great job on these. This one, I think we're just gonna leave it here. And we'll flash the GPS coordinates on screen, so if you're ever in this area, there's a Spyderco salt out here. Now, if you find it, we wanna know, just for fun, use the hashtag #IFoundTheBHQ Salt on Instagram, Facebook, send us pics. It's gonna be right here, guys. It'll be there for you. All right, guys, so the H1 steel clearly won't rust in the Great Salt Lake, so let's go back to Blade HQ, look at our controlled tests and see what those other steels have done, and let's get out of this dang lake. I'm about tired of it. Okay, we got the DJI, we got the Mavic here at the studio, at the place, at the headquarters. We're gonna take it down and find some tools. If there's footage on this, I'll be completely amazed.
The memory chip should be pretty sealed in there.
Oh snap, look at all this stuff. What have we got? Ooh, this looks like
awesome.
No, that's not AFK.
It's like a little cottonwood or something.
Yeah. This is like the spring or something at the very earliest. Okay, actually it says right here, April. All right, here's the last video file ever taken.
This is Alex.
Hey Alex, this is Ben Peterson. I work at a company called Blade HQ, and I'm calling because we chanced upon a DJI Mavic drone in the Great Salt Lake. Any chance it's yours?
Yeah, no, it is. I was out filming with my buddy. We lost it a couple months ago.
No way.
Ray just called me. I don't know how did you guys know that it was me? I'm still blown away. You know, you guys deserve like an award. I don't know if the FBI is hiring, but this is incredible.
Do you want your drone back?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that would be amazing. I looked in the Great Salt Lake for so long. You have no idea.
So we can either drop it off to you, or if you want to drop by our shop and just pick it up. Either way.
Yeah, I mean, I can come pick it up.
All right, talk to you later, Alex.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
I think we should give him the one that like stayed in the lake forever.
Let's do it, yeah.
And be like, hey, your drone didn't survive, but this knife did.
But this knife did, I like it. Let's do it. All right, guys, we're gonna walk over here and we are gonna check out how our salted knives have done for the past 3 weeks. Holy smokes. Wow, look at this, guys. Dang. Look at that, guys. That's 1095 steel with Great Salt Lake water. That is toasted. So this was satin when we started, and I mean, check out the next one. This is the Delica with VG10 steel. On the VG10 itself, I mean, look at that. That actually held up decently well. I'm curious if the backlock is gonna... Nope. No dice. Okay, the next one, This is LC200N steel. Blade itself has a little bit of discoloration, but that might be from the pivot hardware. Where I'm seeing rust though, looks like maybe the hardware inside of the pivot has rusted. You can see that rust, but the blade itself, the blade steel, no problem. So we've left these in here for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Little bit of rust right there on the pivot, and then some of that hardware. And the blade, we've seen this before, where the blade where they laser etch it gets a little bit of rust, but that just rubbed right off. But the blade itself, no problem at all. Interesting. Okay, let's take a peek here. H1, I don't see any rust. I mean, there was just a little bit on the laser marking when we pulled it out. Just rubbed right off. The opposite side, not bad at all. As far as mechanism, no problem. Super cool. So there you have it, guys, the Miracle H1 steel from Spyderco on the Salt series. Now, if you like it, Blade HQ is the place to buy it, bladehq.com. We carry all the Salt series. As well, you should subscribe to our channel. And if you want a Spyderco enough, there's one right here. See you guys. Thanks for watching. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, no. I'll plan on coming by either tomorrow or the day after and picking it up. I'd love to.
Awesome.
See what you guys are doing. Meet the people that found this.
Absolutely. Well, just give me a holler when you're gonna come down, and we'll just we'll be ready for you when you get here. Be free, little bird.